I want. The Battle of the Witcher Gerd, Chronicles of Contersoc, Earth in armor, boots, gauntlets, and trousers. Righteous and brave, of death never scared, such a man had we found in Witcher Gerd. Pursued by foul foes with intentions most vile, he made a last stand in our Skellig's fair isle, fighting all the while. He arrived on her shores midst sobs and bawls. Help! Help! A dragon yon elven ruin crawls. Hefting his sword in an expert grasp, he set off at once and slew the winged asp, smiling as it drew its last gasp. But fierce as fiends as his foes followed in his path, hounding his footsteps, hearts brimful of wrath. At night they attacked, using darkness as shield. To no avail, soon their own lives they did yield. By Witcher's hand much blood spilled. 'Tis a Witcher's right nature to guard men from beasts, and so Gerd's silver sword did not rust in its sheath. Instead, to Clan Tearsock from sirens defend, he forthwith to the caverns of Melsoon did mend, and took the first steps towards his end. Fragment missing. Jarl Torgeir returned and exclaimed with pride, fortunate he who was friends at his side. Proud as a Jarl can quit his home keep, and find in his absence no dangers to creep, and Witcher saved all from death's deadly sleep. Jarl and Witcher fast found common tongue, and soon were venturing on hunts together, and hosting feasts, at which there were no end to laughter or bluster. So I still expected to rhyme. And then Jarl Torgeir told Gerd of the hideous Striga, which prowls the ruins of Etnir, desecrating the once proud fortress, which in happier times had stood a steadfast guardian of the northern expanses of Skellig. The Jarl's lament moved the Witcher, who had announced he would slay said beast. Yet Witcher Gerd was a craftsman ever diligent and true, and so explained he first had to complete a prior contract, rid a cave on Speakerog of sirens. And so the Jarl gave Gerd a full pouch of coin and the services of Olven, Oric's son, as a guide to take him safely to Speakerog, and if the danger grew fierce, to fight the sirens at the Witcher's side. His heart filled with gratitude, Gerd entrusted an armor diagram to the Jarl, one he had long carried and held most dear, as a token of his sincere intent to return as soon as he had finished his allotted task. Okay, I'm gonna have a few to fight here. Beautiful. That worked out just fine. In a sense. Beautiful. There's something around back. Do not want to fall from up here. Even if I survive, it'll be a pain. Woo. Oh, it's a place of power. Excellent. That was close.
Magic. A place of power.
And a marker. Beautiful. So bad for the poor goat that managed to make it its way up here. It's pretty much stuck. Ooh, trial of dexterity completion token. I have no idea what that's about. This mountain peak was named after a mythical bear, which, according to legend, was defeated by Tyr, the rogue founder of Clan Tirsock. Yggvar's Fang. Tirsock. Go to the miners' camp, I guess. This. Come on. This. Okay, follow this road. He exists. The horse. Keep going. Well, I love this music. I haven't done it in a while, but I remember before, just like, you know, I'll be doing stuff on my computer and I'll just sit there listening to Witcher music. Ooh, you're chunkier things than I remember. Okay, these gargoyles are different to the ones I fought previously. Still annoying as sin, though. I doubt I could ignite stone. There we go. And an level 30 ice elemental. Alright, we can do this. Oh yeah. It's easier than they are. Okay. Yeah, I have the audio levels right. A little obnoxious that it just disappeared there. wouldn't mind using them. I'll lose health, but I will gain bleeding resist with percent of slashing, and I'll gain resistance from monsters. I'll gain some health, gain some armor, and otherwise the same. Slap it in. I know. I just feel like I'm trading out gear too soon, like too quickly to justify bolstering what I have. Gear I'm trading out a little more infrequently, so I can hold on to it for that bit longer. Arrest warrant for Witcher Gerd. Let it be known that the Witcher known as Gerd has committed foul crimes against the Ducal Tira, namely insulting Her Grace's Majesty, resisting Her Grace's guards, collaborating with the usurper, and other such deeds bringing harm to Ducal Tiara. Any person providing him shelter will be considered complicit in his crimes. It is duty of each and every one of Ducal Tara's subjects to provide any and all possible help to the agencies of the law who seek to capture the bandit. For apprehension of Witcher Gerd, dead or alive, we have set a reward in the amount of 300 Arsker dinars in the name of Her Grace Helena Lang Heir, heiress to the Duchy of Ersker, so-and-so of Gebal, Hieronymus Usar Castellan. Good folk, my apprentice Folkbar has disappeared without a trace. I'm terribly worried about him, so whoever finds him, brings him back, shall receive a sizable sum of Novigrad crowns. There. Your most honoured Grace, the Duchess of Ersker. Eligible fragment. The Witcher Gerd feared your Grace's wrath, feared your Grace's righteous fury, so he fled off to Scoia'tael, to that hive of pirates, thieves, and other such bandits. In suit, the gods must have smiled on our quest, for quickly did we catch his foul scent and track him to a public house near the village of Feirsdal, where he was banqueting with the locals. Some sought to protect him, treating the treasonous man as companion in arms. We therefore showed him no mercy and burned him into the ground. Alas and alack, the Witcher escaped us once again, but we tracked him to the ruins of the old fortress called Itnir, where he went to hide or else perchance lie in wait by some monster. Legible. Made haste to assault his position with all our strength, but still the treacherous foe slew 5 of my men and wounded me most severely, and brought the ruin's roof collapsing down on us with some witchcraft. Never fear, we shall surely free ourselves from here soon. Meanwhile, I've ordered the Vile Witcher's campsite searched and found a diagram for some highly curious weapon. It is enclosed with this writing, entrusted to your graces for safekeeping. Another day, perhaps two, we shall dig ourselves out of this rubble and catch the Witcher. If fate is kind, perhaps I shall next send your Grace not a missive, but the Witcher's scalp. Yet it must be said that from the very start he slighted your Grace with his most rude and brusque manners. Though it is beyond the reasoning of a simple knight such as I to comprehend how a base of worm like that could dare refuse to your Duchessness anything. Why, serving your most graciousness is an honour, and anyone who shuns the service reveals himself as a simpleton and a knave. Thank all the heavens the gods watch over your graceful being, and the merciless usurper, that twisted wretch who deems himself your father, could be ripped off his stolen throne without the need for that mutant's help. Yet it is a Witcher's sweaving employ, your Grace, if you'll pardon my Temerian, to kill monsters, and your good Grace's father, why, what was he if not a beast, a murderous monster lapping up the blood of innocents? And since he was such a monster, though draped in human skin, revealing his monstrous form only through deeds and not demeanour, the Witcher sought to have killed him. The Witcher ought to have killed him, as your Grace asked of him. Therefore, it is just that said freak shall pay with his neck for violating the dictates of honour and Witcher law alike. Your Grace's humble servant, Calmir of Black Friedland of the Brant Banner. The Illustrated Atlas of Insectoids, Arachnes, monster of the something, subtitled Vipera hexapoda. Lives mostly in boggy terrain, but also in caves and abandoned mines. Hierarchical caste structure with highly specialized members. Master of mimicry, many specimens highly poisonous. Invasive species, emigrated from the south, must be fought with silver, ideally freshly coated with insectoid oil. Tales of the Wild Hunt. The island folk of Skellig, like many nations of the north, hold a series of beliefs about the Wild Hunt, recorded in legends, myths, and fables. This horrifying phenomenon is said to herald the coming of war and misfortune. Characteristic of their tales and distinguishing them from their continental versions is that the islanders imagine Wild Hunt not as a cavalcade of wraiths galloping across the night sky, but as a ghostly long shape. The vessel, called Naglfar, is said to be built of the claws of dead men. For this very reason, superstitious Skelligers remove the nails of their dead, expressly to prevent them from being used to fortify this ghostly ship. In many legends, Naglfar sails out from Morhog, the land of chaos. Kovar and Povis. Kovar and Povis are without a doubt the richest realms in the north. Few today remember that this was not always the case, yet their poverty was once literally on everyone's lips, in the form of the now antiquated common sayings. As recently as the days of Herbert the Quarrelsome, one spoke of a particularly impoverished person as being poorer than a mouse from Povis, being called bone broth, Kovir delight, and referred to beggars as Praxides, after the bay along the shores of which these kingdoms lie. Similarly, few remember that a mere handful of generations ago, Kovir and Povis were still part of Temeria. King Radovid I, known as Radovid the Great, handed dominion over to him to his hated brother Tridon, with one stipulation: that he never leave his newly acquired demesne and not interfere in matters of state. Handing over this rocky scrap of far northern ground, where the saying went, the year had two seasons, August and winter, was naturally meant as a cruel joke, a slap in the face for the overambitious Tridon. Yet time has proven that Radovid the Great made a grave error. Before long it was discovered that Kovir's bare rocks hid priceless treasure in the form of enormous deposits of precious metals and rock salt. Also gems. This discovery in turn led to tremendous growth in productive industry. Mills, forges, and workshops sprouted up like mushrooms after a hearty rain. Radovid III decided to correct his famous forebear's mistake and take back the northern frontiers of his kingdom. He was convinced the combined armies of Rivdania and its then ally Kedwin would quickly bring this ever more audacious vassal in line. History took a different turn, however, and Kovir won a resounding, crushing victory. Radovid III was forced to sign the first treaty of Lan Exter, granting Kovir independence while binding it to an eternal neutrality, promise Tridon's successors had kept with great diligence. Until recently, Kovir was ruled by Estrad Tesserin, a king as wise as he was greedy. Yet his untimely demise did not stop his lands from continuing to develop and blossom. Kovir metallurgists proudly compete with the best Mahakaman can offer, and believe the University of Lan Exeter long ago surpassed the famous Oxford Academy as a leading seat of higher learning in the north. And so it has come to pass that over the course of a few generations, the inhabitants of Kovir and Povis have turned from paupers into princes, and from beggars into bankers. I'm kind of sped read that, and I shouldn't have, but oh well. Oh, if I hit V, I switch between those. Took me long enough to discover that. May as well get all the Skellig ones done while I'm here. Alright, on to the next one. Bye. If I ever start making like weird turns driving here and all that, it's because I'm just holding down shift and not actually piloting it myself. the horse makes weird turns sometimes. Or not at all. I feel honestly I should be following a guide. But I kind of want to do this mostly blind. Okay. Okay. Summoning the horse. And it's here.
Respect, Witcher.